For over 10 years of my life, food used to consume my every waking thought. Whether it was thinking about how much I had binge ate the night before, or how I was going to starve myself today to make up for all the calories I ate the night before, or whether it was stressing about the event that I had for dinner and what I was going to eat and how I was not going to eat before, food consumed my every waking thought. It was exhausting. Thinking about my binge eating and how I was going to make up for it, that ruled my entire life. I didn't even feel like a functioning human. And if this is what you are going through right now, if you are so sick of being stuck in the binge eating, restricting, starving, yo-yo dieting cycle, this video is for you. I never thought that I would overcome binge eating. It felt like I tried everything, and at some point I just accepted the fact that this was a part of my personality and this was something that I was going to live with. And I am beyond grateful to be sitting here today to tell you that I have finally come out on the other side. But I will tell you right now, it didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen overnight, and I had to change how I approached my entire life. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you the top 3 things that has helped prevent me from overeating, binge eating, emotional eating, stress eating, all of which I classify under the same camp. So the first thing that I had to start doing to overcome binge eating and prevent binge eating in the future was I had to pause and stop before every meal. This took and still takes so much patience, but holy cow, does it make a world of a difference. So when I say I have to stop before I approach a meal, before I sit down to eat anything, even if it's a quick snack, I take a pause and I set the intention that I am going to eat slowly, that I'm going to take small bites, that I'm going to put my fork down between bites, that I'm going to be present when I'm eating, no distractions, and that I am going to savor and enjoy every single bite. I have to do this before approaching every meal, especially if it's a meal or a food that really triggers my taste buds, that's really delicious, and is something that I know I'm very likely to inhale, to eat quickly, and therefore overeat on. This takes so much conscious practice. This is something that still to this day I have to do, or else my old conditioning of inhaling food, literally shoving in bites before I even started chewing my first one. Put it in, right? Inhaling food and not even registering whether or not I'm full, and literally just shoveling food as quickly into my mouth so that I could pretend like it didn't happen, as if I could trick my mind that I wasn't eating it if I just ate it quickly. All of that conditioning that I had built up for over 10 years still comes back to this day. And if I am not aware and I don't stay awake and conscious, I will revert back to that old conditioning. So I have to set the intention before every meal and every snack that I'm going to stop and I'm going to pause and set the intention that in this meal, I'm going to enjoy every bite, that I'm going to eat slowly, that I'm going to eat mindfully. And it is hard. It is hard, especially if something tastes good. I don't want to eat slowly. I don't want to chew slowly. I don't want to take small bites. I don't. But I know that if I don't do that, I will overeat. This one habit alone probably is going to be the hardest thing that you will ever have to practice if you're used to inhaling your food like I was. But it is also the hard work that will make the biggest difference in your eating habits and your binge eating habits. All right, number 2 is to incorporate what you are craving into your meal. If you were anything like me, you followed a very strict diet. For me, it was chicken and broccoli, and it was plain. Because I was trying to lose weight as quickly as possible, and I was trying to eat low calorie and as clean as possible. But when you do not incorporate the things that you are craving, there will be a day where you say screw it, or multiple days, you probably already know, where you say screw it and you give in, and as soon as you give in, you go ham. You go to town on everything you've been restricting yourself from. I know how scary it is to incorporate sugar, desserts, sweets, pizza, all the things that have been previously off limit to you. I know firsthand how scary it is to not eat super clean, unprocessed, healthy food. I know. But if you keep going on this cycle and continuing to restrict yourself, you're never going to get out of this binge eating cycle. And until I realized that, I was stuck in it for 10 years, my friend, for 10 years. And it wasn't until I started to finally incorporate the things I was craving. Ice cream, cookies, chips. It wasn't until I started incorporating that into my daily nutrition and weight loss plan that I no longer had those cravings build up so high to the point where I kept binging, because I had a little bit every day. So I never felt like the cravings got so unmanageable that I felt the need to binge. And it's scary because right now you probably don't feel like you have self-control around those foods. God knows I sure as heck didn't, especially when I started to incorporate them into my nutrition plan. It's terrifying because you're so used to binging and overeating, you don't trust yourself with these foods. I get it, but you will never be able to practice self-control and portion control and eating in moderation until you actually start incorporating these foods and learning how to manage your emotional state as you're eating it. Honestly, it's scary. And in the beginning, you probably are going to overeat because you've conditioned that into your mind and your body and your habits and your lifestyle. I know how scary that is, but if you really want to stop binge eating, you are going to have to learn how to start incorporating and working with your cravings and learning how to start calming yourself down when you start eating them, because you are going to get stressed and anxious and everything in your body is going to get heightened. You know what I'm talking about. As soon as you have that first bite, this monster comes out of you. The only way you're going to learn to tame that monster is by incorporating these foods. You're going to eat it and you're going to notice, oh my God, I want it. I can't stop. I have to keep eating it. And you're going to practice breathing, relaxing, acknowledging what's going on, being aware, but not listening to that voice. Again, and the only way you practice that is by incorporating these things that make you a little bit nervous, that are hard to control yourself around, right? The more you avoid them, you never get to practice. It's like any habit. You have to practice to get good. But if you avoid the practice altogether, you'll never get better at self-control. I used to be horrible at self-control. Now, I would say I'm 95% a master of my self-control when eating. Whereas before it was negative 1,000%. So I speak from experience. I know it's scary and it is sure as heck hard, but that's the only way you can practice is by learning how to eat it slowly, be present and notice all the feelings of wanting to overeat come up and learning how to relax yourself and calm yourself when that feeling inevitably arises. Number 3 piggybacks on number 2, which is when you practice incorporating your cravings into your nutrition plan, you want to have a game plan for how to handle those feelings when they come up that tell you, I want to keep eating, I want to overeat, I want to just turn my brain off and eat mindlessly and not care about the calories and not care about how much I'm eating and not care about eating mindfully, because Lord knows that voice comes up all the time. So when she comes up, you want to have a game plan for how you handle her. So for me, something that really helps me in that moment is that if I know I have something that's going to taste delicious, that I'm most likely going to want to keep eating, I have a game plan set in place, which is I'm going to have, let's say, the cookie. I'm going to eat that cookie so slowly. I'm going to enjoy and savor every mother freaking bite. I'm going to chew. I'm going to eat without distraction. I'm going to be so present when I'm eating it, and I'm not going to guilt myself for eating it. And as soon as I'm done, I am going to have a glass of water, or I'm going to have a protein shake, and then I'm going to brush my teeth. And then after that, if I still feel off, if I still feel heightened, I'm going to go on a walk. Now, I'm going to explain what each of these steps do. Step 1, why I have a glass of water or a protein shake after is because, probably like you, I eat to feel full. And if I have a dessert, a small portion of a dessert that doesn't make me feel physically full, I will want to keep eating until I feel physically full. So having a protein shake or having a glass of water or 2 glasses of water after eating helps me physically feel full and achieve that full state that I'm looking for. Next step, I brush my teeth. What I've noticed is that as soon as I brush my teeth, that feeling of wanting to continue to eat, instantly gone. The act of brushing my teeth and then the mint feeling and taste of the toothpaste instantly kills that feeling of wanting to eat. And if you have never tried this, I will say it is a game changer. So many of my clients have noticed this too, is as soon as they brush their teeth, even though before then they wanted to overeat and snack, as soon as they brush their teeth, that feeling is gone. It's crazy. So if you've never tried that, I highly recommend that you try that. And then after that, if for whatever reason I still feel little remnants of wanting to continue to eat, I will go on a walk. And what I have noticed that walk does, even 5 minutes, doesn't have to be long, is that it gets out the excess nervous, stressed, and anxious energy that had built up in my body when I started eating that dessert or whatever I was craving. And what I've noticed that feeling is of wanting to continue to overeat, it's just this nervous energy that needs an outlet for it. So whether that's you eating and stuffing yourself, that can relax the body. But walking can also give you that relaxed feeling that you were looking for with food. So whenever I plan in something I'm craving or something that I know my mind wants to overeat on, I will pre-plan these 3 steps. Fill up with liquids, brush my teeth, go on a walk. And if it's nighttime, let's say it's late at night, and you don't want to go outside on a walk, maybe you don't feel safe, you can literally walk back and forth in your apartment or in your house. You can walk in circles, put on a calming video or calming music or classical music, something that just helps relax you and puts you in a calm state, or a calming podcast or show that you like, and just get some steps and move your body, because just movement in general helps get out that anxious, stressed, nervous energy that, again, we often experience when we are eating highly palatable, tasty foods. Now, if you do not want to go on your journey alone and you want to work with me one-on-one, please go to www.teamevolve.co for one-on-one nutrition and fitness coaching with me. You can also follow me on Instagram at Vivian No, and on TikTok at Vivian No with an underscore at the end for more mindset, emotional eating, nutrition, and fitness tips. And otherwise, I just want to say I am sending you so much love and empathy and compassion and kindness on your journey. I know you can do this. I so believe in you. If you want to see more binge eating, emotional eating, yo-yo dieting content from me and what has helped me really overcome that 10-year cycle, then please click this video right here. And otherwise, thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.